Now joined on the phone by Danville native, UK's offensive coordinator, Neal Brown. Neal, how are you?
I'm doing good. How's everything in God's country?
It is great. This is your neck of the woods here. You were just here yesterday, I believe, right, Neal?
Yes, I was. I was down seeing some family, and I had a good visit.
All right, well, you guys are about just a little less than a week away from the players reporting and starting practice. How ready are you to get going? I mean, I saw a lot of you guys at the event this weekend, and it just seemed like the coaching staff as a whole is ready to get started.
Well, we are. I mean, we're ready to get last year out of our minds. Have a bad taste in the mouth, obviously, not playing very well, not having a great season at all. So we're really excited to get back and work with these guys. Like you said, we open up a week from today. It'll be a first practice. A little bit different scenario this year because our guys will actually be in summer school. Finals in summer school for our 8-week summer school session aren't over until a week from Thursday. So for the first 4 days of practice, we're going to go in the mornings probably because our guys are still going to be involved in school. But very excited about how our guys have worked too and how they've been progressing and I think our guys are ready to change turn some heads this season.
Let me ask you about that for the summer. Things have changed a little bit for football to where you guys can you see the players more in the summer? Did those rules change a little bit, or am I wrong about that?
No, they did. This has been the first summer where we can actually be around our players. We can meet with them. We can be around them when they're lifting weights, when they're running. We can watch them, which is the right thing to do. You know, they were here in previous years, and we couldn't have any control of them. But yet, we're responsible for how they're behaving and their academics and all those aspects. And it's a little bit of a kind of a wrong message to send also with the way the old rules, because our kids are really humping it this summer. Summers are where you get in conditioning, and then the coaches weren't around. So now they're able to see us when they're working out early in the morning. We're here watching them and those type of things. So it's been a real positive rule change and one that needed to be changed. And I also think it's because we're able to meet with our guys, we're going to be further ahead when we start camp next week.
All right, let's talk a little bit about – I will do you a favor and not lead off with quarterbacks like everybody else does. We'll start at some of the other positions. I see the running back position, and I see the potential for a huge step up when you look at JoJo Kemp, Braylon Hurd, Josh Clemens, et cetera. Do you guys think that could be a position of strength for you this year?
Yes, I think so. I think that's our deepest position on offense. You know, and if you look at it, JoJo and Braylon both had really good springs. Really excited about Josh Clemens. He's had a really good summer. He's healthy. Really happy for him on a personal note, just that he gets to come out and compete. What we've got to do in camp is really identify who the guys are going to be in the rotation. We'll give Mikael Horton and Stanley Williams, we'll give those guys opportunities to compete. Mikael Horton's changed his body. Had a good spring. You know, obviously coming in as an early grad, that was really benefited him. But we need to identify early in camp who the guys that are going to be in the rotation are.
Now, you know, last year, I remember you came on here after the season and said, look, if we'd had Joe Montana at quarterback, there still would have been some issues. And part of that was the offensive line and then really not being able to have a ton of playmakers at the wide receiver position. Are those two areas, in your mind, going to be significantly improved?
We'll be better, and the main reason we're going to be better is because we got everybody returning at wide out that played significant action, and then we got everybody with the exception of Kevin Mitchell back from last year's offensive line. So I do believe our offensive line, and it all starts up front on offense and defense. It always starts with your lines, and we're going to be better. Number one, we're going to be better because everybody's a year older. Number two, we're going to be better because physically we're going to be stronger and we're heavier. Excited about our tackles. Jordan Swindle and Darian Miller, excited about those guys. Really have to identify a third tackle early on in camp. And then all our inside guys are just going to be a lot better. And we got exposed at times last year, especially at the end of the year. The last 3 or 4 games, we really got exposed inside. And we need guys like Zach West, John Toth, those type of guys to really take big steps. And then the good thing about last year up front, we were able to redshirt all those O-linemen that came in. So our guys like Ramsey Myers, Nick Haynes, Kyle Meadows, those 3 guys got to be ready to play as redshirt freshmen. And then you look at the wideout position, everybody's back. last year we had a situation that is really unheard of. Is bad a wideout situation as I've ever been around or ever seen in Division I football. We didn't have anybody going into the season last year that ever caught a touchdown pass. And then 4 out of our top 5 receivers were all guys that were brand new. 3 true freshmen and Javis Blue, who's a junior college transfer. We will be better there because all those guys are a year older. Really expect Javis Blue and Ryan Timmons to take big steps. Javis Blue's second year being a junior college transfer, those guys are always better. See Stevie Johnson, see Chris Matthews, those guys, former UK players. And then Ryan Timmons has gone through an off-season for really the first time in his career. So I really expect those two to make big jumps.
Everybody always wants to hear about Ryan Timmons because of the whole Kentucky connection. But every time I've spoken to you, Mark Stoops, Tommy Maynard, everybody brings up Ryan Timmons. I mean, you guys expect a lot from him, right?
Yes, we need him. If you look at who some of our top playmakers are on offense, you talked about Braylon, we talked about JoJo, potentially Josh, if he's able to come back, because he definitely was that as a freshman. Then you talk about Javis Blue, you talk about Ryan Timmons, and then potentially Jeff Badette and DeMarco Robinson. So Ryan Timmons is explosive. He's fast. He has the ability to make plays after the catch, is something we greatly need. So those are some of the reasons. And then I really think he's matured. I mean, you're talking about a kid that had 4.0 GPA in the spring semester. He's got 2 A's in summer school right now. So you're talking about somebody that's really grown and really understands what it is to play receiver. Last year, he was just out there running around. Now he knows what to do, yes, and he's playing with a lot more confidence.
4.0 GPA, not bad, while also playing major college football. All right, now I got to ask you about the quarterbacks. Not so much, Neal, about, you're not going to tell me who's leading or anything like that, so I'm not going to embarrass myself with asking the question. But I want to ask you 2 things, one about philosophy and then the other about sort of the talents of each of the guys. The philosophy question I get, let's just say, for hypothetical purposes, that Drew Barker's not your quarterback when you start. It's either Patrick or Reese. Do you guys, in a perfect world, in a scenario like that, want to see the guy redshirt if he's not the starter, or does that matter? Obviously, if he's a starter, he's playing. But if he's not, how do you go about the process of deciding whether he would redshirt?
Well, I think the quarterback position is really the same for everybody on our team, the way we look at it. From a philosophical standpoint, what we do is this guy, is this student athlete, is he ready to compete right now? Is he going to help our team win right now? And is he physically, mentally mature enough to play right now? If the answer to those questions is no, and more than one of them, then the best thing for that kid is the red shirt. And that'll be the same way we go about Drew. Is he put himself in position to win the job? If not win it, would he be the backup? Okay? Is he physically, mentally ready to play? All right? Are we doing him a disservice? If the answer, if he's not ready, we're not going to throw him out there. If he's ready and he's the best guy for the job, we'll throw him out there. And that's no different than any of these wideouts or O-linemen or anything like that.
So if he's the backup, see, this is the scenario people think about. Now, I know you know this, but let's say he's the backup. You're playing UT Martin. You're up 45 or I won't say that because you're playing a team, and you're up big in a time that normally this would be the time you bring in the backup.
Sure.
If you have a guy who's a true freshman, then what do you do?
No, I think what you look at is you're not going to burn a redshirt year on garbage time, whether we're up or down a lot, and you put a guy in. No, I don't think you do that at any position.
Okay, gotcha. That's kind of one. All right, real quick on those guys. Give me, I think Stoops said Patrick Toll's the most improved player since last year. Talk to me just a little bit about where all 3 of the main guys are right now.
Yeah. Toll's is the most improved, but he also had the most to work on, and I'll say that.
Yes.
And he's done a great job. He's just matured in every aspect of his life. From a size standpoint, I'll just kind of go over the positives on each of them real quick for you, because I know you probably got to get off and go to a break. But size, exactly what you're looking for. Runs really well for his size. Got a strong arm. Okay, has to improve on taking care of the football and making quick decisions. Reese Phillips, really accurate passer. Throws the ball extremely well. Got good leadership skills. His personality and how he carries himself, he even keel all the time. Okay, has to rise up and perform better in game like situations, scrimmage like situations. Drew has got to be more consistent on an everyday basis. He does a really good job in all our combinations, our run pass where he's got to make quick decisions. He does a really good job there. Gets the ball out of his hand faster than probably any of them, and he's accurate. Okay, but he has the least amount of understanding of what we're doing offensively. So, in a nutshell, that's kind of where all three of those guys are.
Last question: you guys feel like Kentucky is going to be better. Do you feel like, as the sort of air raid guy, or what? I mean, I know that's not exactly what you call it, but that sort of philosophy. Last year, you just couldn't do it because of what you had. Do you feel like you'll be able to take more steps in the direction of doing the offense like you envision it down the road?
Yes. I don't think we're going to be completely there because we've got to get a little bit more depth at O-line, and more importantly, we've got to get depth at receiver. And we're going to be so young at wideout still, we're not going to be real complex. We're going to be pretty simple. So those guys can play without having to think all the time. But we are going to be much improved, and we are going to look more like we did at Texas Tech and at Troy than we did last year.
Gotcha. All right. Well, people, I'm sure, are excited about that. And they're excited about their native son here in Danville being the offensive coordinator. Neal Brown, thank you very much for coming on, and good luck.
Yeah, enjoy Titletown. Tell everybody to look.